The bench boost went down reasonably well, and a score of 68 points in Game Week 2 has seen a rise up to 2.2 million. The spoils were shared between Forest and Crystal Palace in a predictably low scoring game, but goals from Sarr and Hudson-Odoi sadly put an end to the clean sheets. Pedro Porro made it back-to-back shutouts under Thomas Frank, as Spurs stunned Man City with a 2-0 win at the Etihad. Bukayo Saka's late first-half strike against Leeds was quickly overshadowed by an injury that forced him off before the hour mark. And Salah cancelled out any real advantage with his last-minute assist, as Liverpool scored a dramatic second-half stoppage-time winner to beat 10-man Newcastle. João Pedro took advantage of a vulnerable West Ham side, directly contributing to 3 of Chelsea's 5 goals, as Cole Palmer missed out after an issue in the warm-up. And clean sheets from Dubravka and Estev contributed to a reasonable 17-point bench boost, which feels alright for a single game week. So let's look ahead to the transfer plans for Game Week 3, where I had previously planned on using the free hit chip. Saka's injury is a spanner in the works, as there's only a slim chance he'll be back for Forest in Game Week 4, so it might be preferable to just deal with him now. Fantasy Football Hub suggests a straight swap for Bruno Fernandes. We'll be hoping to make amends for his Game Week 2 penalty miss when Burnley visit Old Trafford this weekend. You can get personalised AI transfers for your FPL team with 50% off via the link in the description. I'm also losing faith in Florian Wirtz and Jared Bowen, both of whom continue to suffer price drops. So I did briefly consider bringing the wildcard forward, but a lot of the players I'd want to target don't have particularly great matchups in Game Week 3. Semenyo and Kudus face each other in a game that looks difficult to predict, while Ekitike and Gakpo take on Arsenal. I'm still more tempted by the free hit, but as mentioned, Saka's injury isn't ideal. Palmer also might not be available, and targeting him for Fulham at home was a key attraction as well. It's a week where I'm very undecided, and I'll continue to weigh up using a chip. I'll be making my usual free hit draft on Thursday to compare with my current squad. But as it stands, I'm now leaning more towards just selling Saka to Bruno Fernandes with my one free transfer, and here's how the team is currently set to line up. Matt Sells welcomes a struggling West Ham side that sit bottom after heavy defeats to Chelsea and Sunderland. They've fashioned just a single big chance so far this season, with only Wolves faring worse. Similarly, Chris Richards takes on an Aston Villa side that failed to score in their opening 2 matches against Newcastle and Brentford. They've carved out a measly 1.4 expected goals, with only Sunderland and Wolves producing fewer. Pedro Porro leads defenders with 5 key passes this season in an improving Spurs side under Thomas Frank. They've given up just 2 big chances so far, with only Arsenal allowing fewer. Mohamed Salah has been largely peripheral across the first 2 matches, but popped up with last-minute stoppage time returns in both. The Egyptian has taken fewer shots than Gakpo and Ekitike, but has created a league-leading 3 big chances. Also struggling to make an impact is Florian Wirtz, who's had no involvement in any of Liverpool's 7 goals so far. He failed to create a single chance against Newcastle and took just 1 shot. It's hard to see that changing against a stubborn Arsenal defence that's yet to be breached this season. But there are more appetising fixtures against Burnley and Everton to come after the international break. The most bought player ahead of Game Week 2, Tajani Reinders was kept quiet by a well-organised Spurs side. But his tally of 4 shots this season only trails Haaland among teammates. Brighton rank 8th for expected goals conceded across the opening 2 game weeks. If West Ham are to drag themselves up and relieve pressure from Graham Potter, they'll need Jared Bowen to step up. Their creative spark and talisman has had limited service, but leads teammates with tallies of 6 shots and 12 touches in the opposition box. In fact, only Haaland and Richarlison have had more attempts at goal among forwards. Forest's defensive numbers don't offer much encouragement, however, as only Newcastle have conceded fewer non-penalty expected goals. I'm slightly less concerned by Ollie Watkins, despite Aston Villa's lack of goals so far. Unai Emery's side fashioned the second most big chances in home matches last season. A second leg Europa Conference playoff on Thursday could prove a distraction for Crystal Palace, who are likely to field a strong team after a narrow 1-0 win last week. João Pedro could be a shrewd captain choice after he burst into life last game week. The Brazilian would perhaps deputise on penalty duties if Cole Palmer were to miss out again. Fulham have faced 3.2 expected goals this season, with only Leeds, West Ham, Wolves and Everton faring worse. But assuming I bring him in, Bruno Fernandes would take the armband for me. I do also like the look of Matheus Cunha, who could have had a hat-trick against Fulham. But I expect Fernandes to retain penalties, and he offers those defensive contribution points as well, which boosts his appeal in the tougher games to come beyond Gameweek 3. Man United have looked a much improved side despite only scoring 1 goal. They've created 3.2 expected goals and attempted a league-high 32 shots. Burnley shipped 3 goals to Spurs in their first away match, and only Leeds have conceded more expected goals on the road so far. This team comes in at 90% on Fantasy Football Hub's team rating tool. You can check out your own team score for free via the link in the description. Sign up now to get 50% off and your money back if you don't win your mini-league. T&Cs apply. Click the link below to take advantage. All the data included in this video is available on the Hub Opta Stats tool.